Alright, hey guys, what is up? Rabbit Retrospect Games, and I'm going to show you a bit about base building. Now, this is to get the basics down, so hopefully this helps you out, at least understand what the base building is, because the game doesn't do the best job of telling you exactly how this works. Now, first things first, when wanting to build a base, you need to make sure it has one thing, and that is this, the workshop. Now, you cannot build a workshop, nor can you move or destroy one. Either an area has a workshop, or it doesn't. That's it. That's it, yeah. And you can gain access to these workshops either by quests or by clearing out an area, something along those lines. But once you get access to the workshop, what you can do is, I'm on the PlayStation 4, so I have to hold this stupid little touchpad in order to bring this menu up, but you'll have this menu. Now from here, you have various options. Now we'll go over a few of them very briefly. Now, the crafting is obviously for your crafting stations, your weapons bench, your armor bench, your power armor station, your cooking, all of that fun stuff. And you can see in my base, I already have some of that stuff. I have that little cooking spit over there. If you go inside my little base, I have my power armor station, I have a weapons bench, I have a armor bench, I have a chem bench upstairs, I have a couple of benches and whatnot. Or workstation, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's kind of self-explanatory. Stores? Now, stores are where you obviously buy your stuff. Now, they come in 3 different tiers. You've got your small, medium, and large. Pretty simple. Now, you're going to need certain perks in order to be able to purchase and or use certain materials and certain items within the crafting. For example, this level 3 food and drink stand. You would need you would need the Cap Collector rank 2. That's a requirement. It doesn't matter if you have all the other necessary components. If you do not have the perk that matches the item you want to build, you cannot build said item. So, there's that. Your resources you are going to need to keep your citizens very happy and to attract more citizens. Water, self-explanatory, you need it. I lucked out, and this is the Starlight Drive-In, I do believe it's called, but I lucked out in that it had a little pond in the dead center, so I could use this big one, which gave me like 40 water. But if you don't have water, you can always use these little pumps or what have you. And they'll require power and all that stuff, but we'll get to that here in a second. Food, self-explanatory. If you have the food item in question, you can plant it, and it's very simple. All you need is dirt and the food item in question that you want to plant. So, very simple. Miscellaneous, this would be your other things like, you can read up there and it'll tell you, it'll give you a pretty good idea as to what these things do. But I've got like a trowel here which keeps my Brahmin right outside the fence, but you know what, if you want your food, you have to come inside the fence. That's why the fence was built. You have to be inside it. You can't face through it, that's cheating. So yeah, all that stuff, pretty self-explanatory. It has a little description to give you an idea. Fun, fun, fun. Your defense, you need that in order to protect yourself, especially in later game when you start getting invaded by whatever faction you decided to piss off. So, for example, I've turned this building, since I don't really use this building for anything other than set decoration and setting stuff on top of it, I decided to just do that. I've set some turrets up here that way. For example, the Brotherhood of Steel doesn't particularly care for me, so when they fly their stupid vertibird in to crash into my movie theater projection screen for the 17th time in a row, they will get shot down at least, and I won't have to waste the ammo. It'll just be my turrets causing that thing to crash down right over there so that woman can take my power armor and I have to move it. So, fun for the whole family. Fun for the whole family. But if you don't feel like turrets, which, for the turrets, I do recommend using these because they don't require electricity. The others do, so yes, not quite as fun. You can put up a guard post if you'd like some of the stuff you'd see maybe in a raider base or whatever. Or you could put up traps. I personally haven't built my base to where I don't have the exact appropriate setup for these sort of traps just yet, but I'm working on it. I'm probably going to put some in this little area, but that's besides the point. And then you've got your power. You need your power to power things. It's pretty self-explanatory. You've got your generators and whatnot. You've got your connectors, which will connect that lovely wire so you can give more power to places. So, for example, I needed this to power a terminal inside. You could not take the wire through, although why our character didn't just drill a hole is beyond me, but yes, you'd have to connect it. I had to connect it right there, and then there, and then there, and then, yeah, fun. So connectors, lights, pretty self-explanatory what lights are. Miscellaneous stuff, terminals. Now, if your terminal is connected to another item, you can actually, you know, edit that item via the terminal. You can look at the settings and whatnot, so keep that in mind in case... You may just want one of these for a decoration. I don't know. It's your base. Do whatever you want. So, yeah, power, decorations. I'm not going to go really into this. It's decorations. It's kind of self-explanatory as to what these things are. They add pizzazz to your base so it doesn't feel like a lifeless husk in the middle of the wasteland, which it is. But it doesn't make it feel like that. And, you know, see, I've got my American flag right there. I'm highly patriotic. We're in Boston. I've got a deer. Why couldn't we get a death? You know what? I'm sidetracked. But, yeah, I've got my little deer thing, and, yeah, decorations. Fun for the whole family. Furniture, pretty self-explanatory what that is. You will need beds, otherwise you'll cause uprest, so make sure you have enough beds to accommodate each person. Now, what I did when I was kind of starting out, because if you see my walkthrough, the base is over there, and that's over here, so that took a lot of materials. So, I recommend when you're starting out, get these really cheap beds, because all they cost is cloth, which is pretty easy to get. I put all mine pretty much up here in one spot, so everyone can just kind of lay down and sleep together, and they don't seem to mind. The AI is kind of dumb in this game. They don't seem to really care about anything. They're happy not to be dead and in the, you know, a Deathclaw sanctuary right now. So yeah, chairs, all that stuff, self-explanatory. I shouldn't really have to go through it. So, yeah. But yeah, this kind of gives you an idea. Now, the main thing you're going to be spending all of your resources and time on are the structures. Now, you have wood and metal. As you can tell, I've used mostly metal for the walls. And that's because getting metal is a little bit easier than wood, in my personal opinion. You may find it the opposite or something else in between. But this is what you're going to be spending most of your materials on. Now, they come in prefabricated versions, which are just pre-done versions of whatever. That last one right there, I have on a little island base. I wouldn't really recommend it, but you can have it if you want. So, yeah, and all that stuff is pretty self-explanatory. You know, this is just to give you kind of the basics. Keep in mind, a few things you have to keep in mind. When you're putting your base together, there is a good chance the materials will not snap together in place. Keep that in mind. The reason my base kind of looks like the way it does on the outside, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, right here with this little chicken wire fence and whatnot, is because that wall right there would not connect where that current chicken wire is. It would not connect on the edge like it should have, so I improvised and did that. I made a little outdoor hubby kind of thing. So keep in mind there's chances they won't snap. Keep in mind the terrain, and because it's very buggy. It's fun, but this is still kind of a buggy, or at the very least, maybe not buggy, but at the very least unrefined sort of base building. I think both consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, will be getting mods. I definitely know the Xbox One will, and of course the PC will, so I'm sure people will fix this, but for now, it's kind of a buggy mess. I mean, look, my base is like hovering off the ground. I mean, it's literally hovering. What is holding my base up are two sets of stairs. Two sets of very well-crafted stairs by apparently, I don't know, Thor or something. So yeah, keep all of that in mind when you're building a base. Most of the time, you'll figure out what you need on your own if you fiddle with things. I mean, you just will. And a lot of the items do have descriptions and whatnot, so yeah. Don't pay attention to the special stuff. A lot of this you get from missions, like this one I got from the Minutemen. You'll have to do one for the main story that'll require a lot of power, hence all the generators up there that aren't being used at the current moment. So yeah, keep that in mind. Hopefully that's helpful. Now, real quick, I want to kind of give people who are kind of curious as to what's going on with my base, just give them an idea of what's going on. This I want to make about 5 or 6 floors, if at all possible, and then after that kind of edit it. That way everyone has their own little rooms, and I can just walk in and all that fun stuff. It's a pet project. You know, it's cost quite a bit of materials, as you can imagine, just by looking at it, so yeah. But that's kind of the main house. This is a little bathroom house thing, the little bathhouse. Water. My little Brahmin, whatever you want to call that. A little Brahmin huddle, pin, whatever. Fruit, whatnot. Grown. Dog meat's little dog house right next to my workbench, so I can go grab dog meat if I really want to. And over here, my little shops. Need more of them, but for now, they're fine. This is supposed to be a diner. It's a work in progress. I ran out of materials, so yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my little quick synopsis of my base. But make sure you have the correct materials. I would wait until mid or late game before you really start with a base, because you'd be surprised how quick you run out of materials. Now, also real quick, I did not mean to do that, you can, if you walk up to something, you can press square and scrap it, if you so choose to. Keep in mind, you probably won't get as many materials back as you put in, so keep that in mind. You can store it by walking up to it and hitting the store button. Pretty simple. And I don't think there's anything else. Oh, yes. For these shops, what you want to do is, there's no one out here, but what you would do is you would hover over them with your reticle, tap X or A or whatever it is, and that would highlight them, and then you can instruct them to a position. As you can see, that one already has someone at it. So you just look at someone and tell them, okay, you're working there. So, pretty simple. Hopefully this helped out someone, maybe, if you're just getting started. You know, because I was a little bit confused on how to do some things. I wasn't really cool, or I didn't really understand the parameters of what I could and could not do. So, yeah. Hopefully this helped out someone, and yeah, I'm going to do a video also where I'm going to show you where to get the island base and all that fun stuff. But for those of you wondering, this is the Starlight Drive-In. So yeah, if you want to make a base here, I like it here because it's relatively flat compared to a lot of the places I've been. A little bit easier to build. So yeah, but hopefully this helped someone out, and I hope you enjoyed and all that fun stuff. And take care, have a wonderful day, and peace. See you in the next video or whenever. Yeah, have a great day.